As a science master, I knew all these things, so I can understand them and buy them. I've got a heat exchanger pumping fresh air into my flat all the day and night and extracting the stale, moist air, but keeping the heat in, warming up the cold air as it comes in. So if you want to visit me, I'll show it to you. So that's what the Japanese are doing. They're buying these Baxies in the million. Every new house in Japan has them because they have a lot of humidity there. And they realise humidity is bad, it's an unhealthy house. But the haka is increasing our humidity, and now I've got black mould. This is going to affect my mentality if it hasn't already turned me into a crazed old man. Now you look up black mould and there's a list, the full length of a page, of all the harms black mould can do to the brain of a human being. So I reported it obviously to the insurance, but they don't want to get involved because they've fallen out that we're getting new with the haka, we're getting new insurers. So this is the beautiful park I walk through every Sunday. I was going to go cycling around Richmond Park. I'm a cyclist getting ready for my summer holiday. So once I know you're on the job and you haven't been bought off by the haka and that they're obeying your powers, I hope you can back them up with imprisonment if they ignore you, because they're refusing to show us the books. This is only criminals refuse to show you the books that they've used to add up and divide out how much we pay in service charge, and they've got to be audited, so they'll be beautifully kept books, and the law requires them. Yeah, I've gone over again. The law requires them. I'll have to split them. The law requires them to open them up for 4 months. They get a month's notice, and if they don't open them up for our inspection, the supporting documents, because under the council they would recharge us for work being done in tenants' flats to leaseholders, because we've seen them. But you can't lock them up, or you can't prosecute the council for not showing us the book, so they got away with it. But the private landlord can be prosecuted and faces a £2,500 fine and a criminal conviction. So I've emailed my newly appointed councillors, and I find I've got their email addresses saved, so they're the same councillors. So I guess they're compromised too, as our MPs compromised. They're all compromised and aren't on the side of the law, supporting the community when the law is broken by their landlords. So here's our beautiful buildings, and there's Greenwich. I guess you've been there. So this is private. Whoops, losing my hat. And good luck. So the fact that nothing's been done on the court, I don't know whether it's good news or bad news. I just hope it's good news. Oh yeah, that's the reason I started this conversation, is that it took us 4 years to stop them putting plastic walls in the east and south faces, because we got a grant from the Highways Agency to sound insulate our bedroom walls with a 10 centimetre air gap required to stop all frequencies of sound, and they do it with secondary glazing. They leave the wall there and give you secondary glazing. But because we needed the whole wall done and we'd lose so much room in our flats, we got extra money to rebuild the walls, and that was our mistake. So as soon as the money got to the council, it wasn't the Highways Agency who spent it, they gave the money to our local housing officer, who got hoodwinked by the local glazier, I think I've told you, and they got a plastics manufacturer supply kit set plastic, and got a contractor who wasn't a builder, just registered as a decorator, to construct them in the garage, and gave us these PVC walls and windows with a 2 centimetre, not 10 centimetre, air gap that didn't work. So the Haak is going to do it all over again. But while we stopped them, I found an architect who found a proprietary window manufacturer in Sweden that had triple glazing, a double sash, and the second sash gave the 10 centimetre air gap, which would open into the room. And guess what? I sent it to the council without my name on it, and they agreed to it. Highways Agency and the council agreed to module windows, and they were all going ahead to do it. But of course the module would have got the contract off Bagnalls, and Bagnalls paid English Heritage to stop them. It was English Heritage who stopped the wooden walls clad in steel or clad in aluminium anodized that would have stopped all sound and all fire risk or fire spread, to go back to the PVC. O'Rourke of English Heritage. And every time I criticise them at English Heritage, they send me nasty legal letters threatening me. So I hope you can sort that one out, because the Haak have employed people who don't know anything about building regulations, and they're going to replace them with more PVC. So when they apply for planning, you'll be able to stop them. I found a Danish company that does similar double sashes to stop the sound, and are clad in anodized steel so that they're safe walls, and they can be any colour we like. So I'll be dead before you finish it all. I've been offered I'm second on the list for sheltered accommodation, but the Haak won't buy my flat without reducing it, without making me a loss. This is the problem. They get their value at a value at £200,000 less than its value. Because they're not selling it a normal value, because it's a tenanted building with only about 20 leasehold flats, when people buy somebody else's leasehold flat, they pay a little bit more than the last guy. So I think it's gone up to 90,000 is the most it's gone up to, because I only paid 17,000. So leaseholders can make 50,000 and move on. So everyone got very upset. All the council housing departments got very upset when Thatcher gave us the right to buy, and people would immediately buy and sell their 3-bedroom council flats for 300,000 and walk away with 200,000 profit. Anyway, I must get to my shopping. I'm going to miss my shopping. Never mind.